I actually felt that I had to deal this topic with myself and into how do I relate within people. I get into psychology and somehow philosophy, different theory into the Coolest mirror, which is and how actually you see yourself through others people's eyes. So it's not how you perceive yourself within through yourself, but more how you perceive yourself through the way people look at you. And then I did a different experimentation with different type of mirror, the way you could wear it as if you would wear glasses, and I give it to different people to see how they react and how they perceive the thing to get new comments. Because what I was really interested in is how through making objects and through the relation and the interaction you have with how kind of what kind of reward or what kind of feedback you could get from yourself.
Okay.
So that was really yeah, interesting for me. And I also had other theory on the childhood and how objects could compensate the lack of affection you could have from maybe your mother, because when you're a child, you really you not officially, but some most of the babies are fed by the mother breast, and then after a certain year, certain time, you change and you have different relation than with her. It's not that physical, so you have different way of being fit, and so then you start to have this how to say affective object that you have with you all the time, and where you kind of compensate this lack of affection or this lack of relation with your mother. So this also object relation and importance of the representation you have of a certain object was somehow a field that I looked into to develop the project. That in our surrounding there is a huge amount of objects, so we definitely influence more or less consciously into all of these objects, because even if the pointless objects that are on a side that you would not take care of somehow would influence you about your expectation according if you're using it, or about just different things that maybe the contrast into colors or shapes, or just that you don't really perceive it, but at the end you're like you still seeing it, and then it brings you some habits and some things that somehow makes your evolution going on. And then I think using this was from one hand, and also from the other hand, I also think that in our that the society is really leading us into individual thing and into really professional and a individual career somehow, which is I think it's actually taking over from what you could have into intimate relation with or with your group of friends, which means that I feel that the society takes this for granted, that we have a social relation with our family, our wife, brothers, and friends, and then they kind of more pushing you into career, into making things into the professional world somehow. But and then this is finally maybe taking a bit on the side, and as it's kind of taken granted, you don't maybe necessarily take more attention and take more. I don't have much awareness maybe into how do you relate with others, and why do you do that, which I think is really important for your just your self balance, and how do you feel, and which actually affect then how could you be in your career and also in your hobbies and your activities and this kind of thing. So mixing both, having this link between making objects from your environment to get to know about yourself and get to know about how you relate to people in order to get that certain balance. And the main aim was to make object to create a moment to connect back with yourself, because I believed, and looking at the different objects, they're all super mm, most of them are all really designed and really thought into detail, and they also have through marketing a big universe that are already written and already defined. So you kind of already um, brought into a narrow representation of the object, which is, as I said, already predefined. So my aim was really making objects with which, through their use, through their interaction, you could just create that the representation you would have of it would be actually yourself. So then you don't project yourself through representation that has been predefined by someone else, but you using it and you get a frank feedback from yourself.